Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a champion guide for Psylar, so let's get into it. Alrighty, first let's go ahead and pull up Psylar under the Dark Elves. The epic on the right side here, support Void Affinity, and this is Psylar. So, as always, for my champion guides down in the video description, I will have one of these little champion infographics that show the current masteries I'm using and kind of all the general info, optimal sets, 11 books required to max her out, all that good stuff. A link to that will be down below in the video description. So let's put that away and go over the kit real quick here. An A1 that is just an AoE. Okay, so one of the more simpler abilities in the game, it's literally just attack all enemies. And there's actually some utility with that we'll get into. So we've got an A2 that is attack all enemies, has an 80% chance of placing a 50% decrease accuracy debuff for 2 turns, and we can actually book that up to a 100% chance, so pretty solid there. And then what she is known for is this A3, and it's going to be placing a 30% decrease speed debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, and decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 40%. We can book that down to a 4-turn cooldown, and that is definitely what she is known for. We also get, with the addition of faction crypts, she gets an ally speed by 22%, which makes her very good for faction wars. She's going to really have a kit that revolves around snowballing your team to get many more turns than the enemy team and kind of suppress them down so that you can get a lot more revolving value than the enemy team can. So base speed is obviously, she revolves around speed and turn meter and all that, so having a good base speed is paramount to her value. She does have a 105, which is very good for an epic. So yeah, in terms of optimal sets, she's going to pair very well with AoE, like CC, so like stun, provoke. She's got this A1 that's going to be constantly stunning and proccing that ability, and A2 that's an AoE proccing that ability, and then this ability here, stealing turn meter, well, not stealing, but decreasing turn meter. So a very suppressive champion that can be used in basically any area of the game except for like the dragon and the clan boss. She's one of the worst champions in the game for the clan boss. You do not want to bring her for the clan boss. She basically brings 0 value. And then the dragon is actually, some of you newer players might not know this, but the dragon is actually immune to turn meter manipulation. So she's not going to be very good against the boss fight of the dragon. Maybe against the waves she'd help you get to the dragon, but she's not going to be reducing the turn meter or anything like that against the dragon. So let me go ahead and now we'll pull up my Psylar. So we will back out of this, and here we go. Let's go into champions and let's pull her up here. Psylar is right here. Okay, so first of all, I'll show you the total stats. You can kind of see what I've got going on if you're trying to kind of compare yours. Obviously, she's kind of similar to like an apothecary or an arbiter. We're going to want to get her a lot of speed. So somewhere over 200, the more the better, honestly. If you can get her up to 230, 240, 250, go for it. The more speed she has, the more she can crank out those turns, the more often she can reduce the turn meter of her enemies, and the more viable she's going to be in the arena and all of that. So the more speed, the better. As long as you can hit, like, I don't know, 35, 40,000 HP and like 2,500 to 3,000 defense with lots of speed. Crit rate we don't really need to worry about. Obviously accuracy, again, the more the better. Endgame, you're definitely going to want her over 200. If you can get her up to 250, 260, something like that, even better, and that's great. For the arena, honestly, you might want to get her up closer to 300, especially if you're going to be pushing towards like the upper echelons of Gold 4. So that's kind of the stats overview here. And actually, I want to get into showing you the booking process. I've tried to kind of add this to the repertoire of my champion guides so you can kind of see what's, instead of just doing it off camera, I want to show you kind of what's going through my head when I'm booking up the skills of a champion. So with Psylar, obviously the most important thing when we're booking her is getting these 2 skills on the A3 to get that cooldown from 6 to 4. That's going to be paramount and definitely what we're going for when we're booking her. So we're going to want to book 2 at a time until we max this out. So let's start there. Let's go upgrade skills, 2 books, and then we hope to see that hit to level 3. We didn't get anything there. It actually shows you for a split second, like a couple frames. It'll show you down here where it hits before it loads the ability. So both those books went to Toxic Cloud. That's not what we want. So let's go 2 again. And I've had horrible luck in videos, by the way. This just never goes well. So maybe I should start doing it off camera. Okay, and this actually went to level 4. I did already have one book on the A1 because I had a situation a little bit ago where I had like 3 Psylars. So I was like, well, let me use one for a skill upgrade, and I went ahead and did that. But okay, so yeah, this is going par for the course. It's always awful. Yep, okay, and there we go. We're still not getting a single one to where it needed to go, and honestly, we're approaching the point where, yeah, we're just going to end up maxing her out because, oh, hey, there we go, we hit it. We hit lead and legs. So now we have to ask ourselves, is it worth the 2 books to get this buff chance and the cooldown? Because those 2 books are going to be 100% guaranteed to go here. I know I have a lot of books, but I still try to spend as efficiently as possible, not only to, you know, provide good content and show you guys how resources should be spent, but I like to always have resources at my disposal and spend wisely no matter how much I have. So, it's borderline, but I'm going to hold off on the 2 books. I think getting this was the most important thing, and we got that buff chance up to a pretty significant chance. So I'm gonna, it would do well, but I don't know. It's borderline. It's borderline. You can make an argument for either case, but I'm gonna save the 2 books for now. And I do want to show you her in the campaign, just because a lot of people like to see this. She's actually a decent XP farmer. So I'll show you here kind of a run with Psylar. Now, I have her built as basically a Z DPS, but you can see the suppression. Look at all those stuns and how many turns she will get compared to the enemies. And even as a Z DPS, she's able to chunk them down decently. So if I built her as a campaign farmer, which you probably wouldn't, she would actually be pretty decent and probably be doing like 20-25 second runs. So again, not great, not recommended to be used in that capacity, but she can do it. Here it's probably going to take her 35, 37 seconds, something like that. And you can see the constant kind of stuns. So yeah, very suppressive. She just keeps them locked down, and there we go. Obviously, not great, but if you're trying to like 3-star the campaign, you pair her with like a damage dealer, and you get all that suppression coming out. She would actually be pretty good, and you could use her as a campaign farmer if it came to that, but it probably never would. So she's not going to be recommended to be used in that capacity. So now let's get her pulled up again here and finish going over the masteries and the gear. So, okay, masteries. Very important. Now, I have her in the stun set. I guess I should cover that first. I have her in the 4-piece stun and 2-piece HP. Obviously, it would be a little bit more optimal to go with like 2-piece speed, like 4-piece stun, 2-piece speed. I didn't have like the 6-star speed boots ready to rock, so I went with my best blend that I could kind of find, got her a little bit more sustain, and went with these 6-star speed boots here. We're probably going to want speed boots more often than not on her, but I do want to go over the masteries really quick and mention kind of why. So I went with the Fearsome Presence tier 6 mastery because we can see increase the chances of placing a stun debuff from skills or artifacts by 5%. I'm wearing the stun set, so it's going to be proccing that 5% effect on my artifact set, and that's huge because the stun set is by default 18. That 5 takes it to 23. Going from 18 to 23 is a big increase, so that is definitely worth looking into for a T6 mastery for her, especially if you're going to be wearing a suppression set like stun. And then pretty standard routes here. Evil Eye is amazing in Faction Wars and dungeons as well. And then obviously the Master Hexer, if we can get that speed, that decreased speed debuff to be more permanent, and the decreased accuracy, frankly, it's just going to be even better for getting sustained and consistent value on Psylar. So that will be down in the video description if you want to pull it up. There's a screenshot showing the masteries I currently have on her. As always, use it as a template. Don't just blindly copy masteries. You want to look into it and make sure you agree with what's on there. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm using to test her on currently. So alrighty, and now let's go finish the artifacts here. So yeah, I kind of explained the boots. We're looking for lots of speed and accuracy on her, and then whatever sustain we can get besides that. So defense or HP, whichever chest is kind of best, and then accuracy and speed, and HP or defense, whichever is best, and then has the best blend. So the gloves and the chest are kind of the same in that regard, and then the tops are a little bit similar. You know, again, we're going for our best blend of speed, accuracy, and sustain. And then here's my helm and my weapon, lots of accuracy on that thing. And then for the jewelry, obviously we're gonna want a banner that has accuracy with really good speed. So this is a kind of a perfect example of what I would want on her. It's got the accuracy, it's got a triple roll speed, which is amazing, and then it's got sustain with the defense and HP. The flat defense amulet is probably the best choice on her, so I would go your best defense amulet that also has accuracy, and then rings, again, flat defense is very good on a champion like this. So flat defense with your best blend of sustain besides that. So this is an example of a ring that is very good on her. Her jewelry in general is pretty well optimized for her. This is a defense amulet, the double rolled AC, a banner that's accuracy, the triple rolled speed with sustain as well. So yeah, her jewelry is very good for her. And the stun set would pair very well. I want to get her in 4-piece stun and 2-piece speed eventually. And now there's something kind of fun I want to show you. I'm going to take her for a spin in the Arcane Keep and show you the type of stuff you can do in terms of setting up a suppression team. So what I did here was I set up a team that's going to be based around the 1 damage carry of Royal Guard, and then a bunch of speed and Terminator manipulation to really snowball my team to suppress the enemy team and get as many turns as possible. Obviously, you're all not going to have an Arbiter, but she is attainable in the missions, so this should be like a realistic team that a lot of players out there could set up something like this. And just watch the suppression here. The enemies will basically never go. So you've got your Arbiter with the boost, and then a Lure, you know, lowering turn meters, Psylar reducing their speed and reducing their turn meter, Apothecary giving my whole team the speed boost. So a really suppressive team, and they're basically never going to go. And then you add on the stun set for Psylar, who's constantly doing the AoE attacks. And yeah, they're basically just never going to go. Arbiter, even on her A1, has the turn meter reduction. There was a bunch of Allure. There was Psylar. More turn meter reduction. And the stun, you can see on the right there that minion was stunned by Psylar. And yeah, there's no way this boss is ever gonna get a turn. It's just gonna keep getting reduced. Even Royal Guard has turn meter reduction, so yeah, a team like this can kind of be fun to play around with. You get so much turn meter reduction, and it's kind of fun to just watch your team really snowball. And this is the type of stuff you can do in like dungeons and faction wars, featuring Psylar as kind of a centerpiece around it. Especially if you can get her in a stun set, you'll really be able to snowball those turns and get so many more opportunities than your opponents. And we can also take her for a spin in the arena. So she'd be good with a counterattack champion like Valkyrie or Skullcrusher, because the A1, especially with her in a stun set, she's going to be doing that AoE chance to stun. So she can be very good in a team like this, where she's going to be able to counterattack and get more value out of that stun set. And boom, we just saw that she decreased the turn meter and landed all 4 decreased speeds. And then boom, she got off 2 stuns there. You can see the Rosin and the Gorgorab are both stunned right now. That's that little like swirling thing above here on the debuff list. And so yeah, a team set up around Psylar and counterattack kind of like this is probably going to be a little bit slower. You're not going to be like speed farming the arena with this, but it's going to be very suppressive. And she's actually not even landing her stuns very reliably. I think she's only landed like 2 out of 12 chances. So a little bit bad RNG there. There's the lead and legs again. The A3 that reduces turn meter and puts the decreased speed. There's the decreased accuracy landing. And there we have it. So obviously her style of play and the way you're going to use her is going to result in kind of slower, more methodical runs and arena matches, but can be very suppressive and hard to deal with for your enemies. And she's going to be the Dark Elf crypt is not open right now, but she is absolutely amazing in Faction Wars because of that. It's usually Faction Wars is a little bit more sustained battles, and it's all trash mobs except for the boss levels, but you're mainly going to be playing against trash mobs, just waves, 3 different waves of trash mobs. Psylar's very good against trash mobs and very suppressive, so amazing in Faction Wars and a lot of different areas. Let's go ahead and grade her here live on the video, pull her up and kind of show you how this works. Recommended artifacts, they should definitely be recommending like 4-piece speed and then something else, but yeah, I've seen them do worse than that. Ratings, Spider, she's pretty good. It does take the right team around her. I'll give her a 4. Arena offense, again, I'll do a 4. Campaign, a 4. Arena defense, she could do well with the right team around her. I don't even know how she's above a 1.0. She's terrible in the clan boss. Do not use her in the clan boss. Dragon, again, she's going to be bad. She's basically only good against the waves. Minotaur, she's really good. You can set up a team that really suppresses the Minotaur and helps you kind of farm the Minotaur. She's fine in the Void Keep. Again, most of these are going to be 4s. She's not very good against the Fire Knight. She's basically only usable against the trash mobs. We'll go there. Oh, and I actually made a difference enough to lower the rating there with my vote. That's funny. She's okay in the Spirit Keep and the Magic Keep because she can really help you set up a team that doesn't let them get turns. So I'll give her a 3 on those two. There's the Spirit and the Magic. The Force, she's fine. She's not like super optimal. And Faction Wars, wow, she actually has a 5. So yeah, okay. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I don't know if I've ever seen a 5. Like wow, okay. That's kind of cool. First thing kind of reacting to live here. Yeah, she's just a straight 5 in Faction Wars. But yeah, like I was saying a little bit ago, she is very good in Faction Wars, so I do understand that. Alright, so that's going to kind of do it for this video. And again, down in the video description, I will have a link to this infographic here that you can kind of pull up and take a look at the masteries and all that stuff again, like I said earlier in the video. So yeah, Psylar is a fun champion. She's fun to kind of 6-star. She can be pretty cheap on books if you get luckier than I did, and you just kind of book out that A3 to get her that decreased speed and decreased turn meter. She can have pretty good book value and be pretty solid in a few different areas of the game and pretty fun to play around with. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.